Let's talk about Scenario Manager, the third of the what-if tools. Scenario Manager is interesting. Goal-seek and data table deal a lot with micro-type questions, like what if a value goes up a little bit, what will the result be? Scenario Manager, on the other hand, deals with more, well, macro-type questions. Things like, let's take all the variables as a group and set them to one set of values, then let's take all the set of variables again and set them to a different set of values. This is really great if you have a model which shows, say, 3 or 4 different outcomes. Instead of having 3 or 4 copies of the model, you could have one model and then have all the potential inputs be set from version 1 inputs to version 2 to, well, version 3. For example, we have input A, which is 5, and input B, which is 6, and we have an answer, which is 5 times 6. Okay? Simple enough. Let's use Scenario Manager. I could, for example, go to Data and to What If Tools and down to Scenario Manager. And I could say, let's add a scenario. I'll call this first scenario base case. And I'll say that in the base case, we're going to change input A and input B, D6 and D7. I press OK. And it prompts me to ask what are input A and input B set to, and I'll say 5 and 6. And I'll press OK again. I could then add a second scenario. Say, I don't know, something like the higher numbers scenario. They don't have to be named brilliantly, they just have to work. Again, we'll have D6 and D7. I'll press OK. But I'll make D6 18 and D7 7. And I'll press OK. Here's the fun part. When I'm in Scenario Manager, I can go from one scenario to the other, and I can show this one, and I can show that one. Version 1, version 2, version 1, version 2. But here's the really cool part. When I'm all done, I press Summary. I pick what I want to summarize, D9. I press OK. And it creates a new page that shows, as you go from the base case to the higher number scenarios, the outcome, D9, will go from 30 to 126. And just as I highlighted a cell there, I could have highlighted multiple result cells, and then when I generated the scenario summary, it would have showed different results. This is an amazingly powerful tool, as mentioned earlier. It can eliminate you from having to need to use multiple versions of the same model, and at least in my opinion, it's probably the best tool in Excel that no one seems to use. Thanks again, and tune in later.